What is the Boleslavsky pawn structure, and what are its strategic themes? Have you ever wondered how certain pawn structures can shape the course of a chess game? One fascinating example is the Boleslavsky Pawn Structure. This specific formation often arises in the Sicilian Defense, particularly in the Sveshnikov Variation. Named after the Soviet Grandmaster Isaac Boleslavsky, this structure has some unique characteristics and strategic themes worth exploring. The Boleslavsky pawn structure typically begins when black advances the e-pawn to e5 early in the game. This move creates a notable weakness on the d5 square, often referred to as the Boleslavsky Hole. After black exchanges the c-pawn for white's d-pawn and pushes the e-pawn to e5, the d5 square becomes weak and undefended by pawns. White can take advantage of this by placing a pawn on d5, which can lead to a positional edge. One of the main strategic themes in this structure is the control of the d5 square. White aims to occupy or control this square with pieces or a pawn, while black works to prevent white from solidifying this advantage. This battle for control is central to the unfolding game. Despite the structural weaknesses, black has dynamic counterplay. The backward pawn on d6 and the hole on d5 may seem like liabilities, but they allow black to gain active piece play, especially on the queenside. Black often seeks counterattacks in this area, utilizing open files and piece pressure to create opportunities. White enjoys a pawn majority on the queenside, typically with pawns on a2, b2, and c4 against black's fewer pawns. This majority can be leveraged to create passed pawns in the endgame, which can be a significant advantage. In many games with this structure, you will see opposite flank attacks. Black focuses on counterplay on the queenside, while white often aims for activity on the kingside. This dynamic can lead to rich tactical and strategic battles, making the game exciting. Timing is also essential in this structure. White often looks to advance the c-pawn to c5 to gain space and restrict black's pieces. Meanwhile, black must act quickly to activate their pieces and challenge white's plans before the spatial advantage becomes overwhelming. The backward pawn on d6 is a long-term weakness that white can target. Black needs to defend it carefully or look for ways to exchange it off to relieving pressure. Control of open files, especially the C and D files, is critical for both sides. These files can be used to launch attacks and improve piece activity. Mastering the Boleslavsky pawn structure means understanding these strategic themes and knowing the typical plans for both sides. White aims to exploit the d5 hole and queenside majority, while black seeks counterplay on the queenside and tries to neutralize white's spatial advantage. This structure can appear in various openings, making it broadly useful for players looking to improve their game.